There are moments when life feels strangely suspended, when every effort seems to echo in silence, and nothing moves no matter how hard we try. We visualize, we hope, we repeat affirmations, and yet the universe appears indifferent, as if it has stopped listening. In those quiet intervals of frustration, something deeper is taking shape, an invitation to realign, not to work harder, but to vibrate differently. This is where the language of the quantum field begins, where energy precedes matter, and where intention, emotion, and presence become the true architects of reality. What if manifestation was never about forcing outcomes, but about remembering coherence? What if everything you have ever desired was already woven into the field, waiting only for you to resonate at its frequency? This is not mystical poetry. It's the physics of consciousness meeting the maturity of emotional awareness. When you learn to bring your body into the same vibration as your desire, you stop chasing and begin attracting. You stop waiting for proof and start embodying evidence. In this journey, you will rediscover the simplicity that Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, and many spiritual pioneers have described, the profound truth that energy responds to clarity. Throughout this exploration, you will not be told what to believe. Instead, you will be guided to feel what alignment truly means. Because once you adjust your frequency and decide, manifestation ceases to be a struggle. It becomes inevitable. There comes a point in every seeker's path when effort begins to feel like resistance. You repeat affirmations, visualize outcomes, and push your intentions forward with discipline, yet something remains slightly off, as if your words are echoing through water instead of air. It's not that your dreams are unreachable. It's that your energetic broadcast is clouded by noise. The body says one thing, the mind says another, and the heart remains undecided. This dissonance is the unseen weight that holds even the most inspired vision in suspension. When the inner vibration does not align with the decision to receive, the universe mirrors back the confusion, not out of punishment, but out of perfect precision. The quantum field, as described by Joe Dispenza, is not selective, it's responsive. It reacts to coherence, not to desire alone. Every emotion carries an electromagnetic imprint, and the combination of your thoughts and feelings forms a frequency that the field reads as instruction. When you think abundance but feel scarcity, your signal becomes scrambled. It's like tuning a radio station halfway between two frequencies. You hear fragments of both but never the full melody. Most people try to solve this mismatch by amplifying effort. More rituals, more affirmations, more willpower. Yet in the quantum dimension, effort without alignment only amplifies distortion. The field doesn't respond to how hard you try. It responds to the clarity of your state. Imagine standing before a mirror, trying to smile while feeling sadness in your chest. No matter how convincing the expression, your reflection cannot lie. The body, not the intellect, carries the truth of your vibration. The nervous system, designed to protect you from threat, interprets every emotion of doubt as a signal of danger. Each time you visualize your dream while secretly fearing it might not happen, the body contracts. The heart rate quickens, cortisol rises, and the subconscious concludes that the unknown is unsafe. The irony is that manifestation depends precisely on your ability to relax into the unknown. To create new outcomes, you must step into uncertainty with emotional safety. The field will not reorganize around tension. It reorganizes around trust. When you truly decide, the decision is not cognitive, it's cellular. Decision, at its highest vibration, is not a sentence you repeat, but a frequency you embody. The moment you decide from coherence, the universe receives a consistent signal. This is why so many spiritual traditions speak of surrender, not as passive acceptance, but as the release of contradiction. Surrender means your thoughts, emotions, and actions speak the same language. It means your energy no longer argues with itself. Once that harmony is established, creation becomes effortless because the field now recognizes a stable pattern to mirror back. The delay between intention and manifestation shortens, not because time moves faster, but because interference has been cleared. The first step toward this coherence is awareness. You cannot shift what you refuse to see. Notice how often your body contradicts your affirmations. You may say, "I am abundant," while tightening your shoulders and holding your breath. You may say, "I am ready," while your gut clenches at the thought of losing control. These micro-reactions are the fingerprints of old emotional programming. They are not mistakes. They are data. They show where love has not yet replaced fear. When you observe them without judgment, you begin to extract noise from signal. Awareness acts as the first calibration point for frequency alignment. There is a subtle art to becoming energetically coherent. It begins by turning your attention inward and asking the body what truth it is carrying beneath your words. The nervous system can't be tricked, but it can be taught. Through gentle breathing, gratitude, and present moment awareness, you teach the body that safety exists now, not later, not when the goal arrives, but here, in the calm rhythm of your heartbeat. The more familiar the body becomes with safety, the easier it is to hold elevated emotions like joy or appreciation without triggering disbelief. That stability is the foundation of a new broadcast. When thought and emotion merge into a unified signal, the universe has no option but to respond in kind. Consider the way a tuning fork works. Strike one note in perfect resonance, and any object vibrating at the same frequency begins to hum in sympathy. This is not metaphor, it is physics. In the same way, when you attune your internal state to the vibration of your desired outcome, reality hums back. Opportunities, people, and synchronicities begin to appear, not because they were absent before, but because your new frequency allows you to perceive and interact with them. Your external world reorganizes itself to match your new internal rhythm. You are no longer chasing results, you are magnetizing them. It's essential to recognize that misalignment is not failure, it is feedback. When manifestation stalls, it's the field showing you where coherence is missing. Instead of pushing harder, listen deeper. Ask yourself, where does my energy contradict my decision? Perhaps you say you want love but still fear intimacy. Perhaps you seek success yet associate visibility with risk. Every contradiction is an opportunity to refine your frequency, to tune more precisely to the reality you claim to desire. The moment you stop treating misalignment as a flaw and start reading it as guidance, resistance loses its power. As coherence grows, so does sensitivity. You will begin to notice subtle shifts in the body, the warmth in the chest when gratitude arises, the tingling in the hands when inspiration flows. These sensations are not random. They are the language of energy communicating in real time. The more you honor these signals, the more fluent you become in the dialogue between self and universe. Manifestation becomes less about asking and more about allowing. You cease to chase external confirmation because your body has already felt the truth of alignment. Ultimately, adjusting your frequency is not a technique, it's a relationship. It's the ongoing conversation between your inner world and the field of infinite possibilities surrounding you. Decision, in this context, is not a one-time declaration, but a continuous choice to remain coherent despite appearances. Life will test your vibration through uncertainty, delay, and contrast, not to punish, but to strengthen your energetic stability. The universe listens most clearly when you speak through coherence, not desperation. When your words, emotions, and actions vibrate in harmony, the quantum field aligns effortlessly, and what once felt impossible begins to unfold as the most natural expression of who you already are. There is a certain moment, quiet yet unmistakable, when the noise of striving gives way to a subtle stillness. It feels as if something within you exhales for the first time in years. That moment marks the beginning of coherence, the state in which your thoughts, emotions, and physical body begin to vibrate as a single frequency. It is here, in this invisible alignment, that true transformation begins. Most people believe they must first change their outer world before they can feel peace, but the field responds in the opposite direction. Peace is what alters the world around you. When the inner state stabilizes, the external world rearranges itself accordingly. Coherence, in essence, is the conversation between your nervous system and the quantum field. Joe Dispenza describes it as the electromagnetic harmony between the heart and the brain. When your heart generates an ordered rhythmic pattern, steady, calm, and open, the brain receives that signal and matches it with clarity of thought. This is not merely poetic, it is measurable. A coherent heart rhythm creates waves that can be detected several feet outside the body, influencing both your internal chemistry and the environment around you. Incoherence, on the other hand, manifests as anxiety, inconsistency, and self-doubt. The body oscillates between acceleration and collapse, never quite finding equilibrium. The modern mind has been trained to chase certainty while the soul thrives in trust. To re-establish coherence, one must first unlearn the habit of emotional fragmentation, the tendency to feel one thing, say another, and do something entirely different. This fragmentation drains the body's electromagnetic field. Each contradiction is like static in your signal. When you think abundance but still act from fear, the universe receives a mixed message. When you visualize love but speak from bitterness, the broadcast weakens. The correction is not found in force, but in attunement. You realign the system by choosing honesty, not moral honesty, but energetic honesty, where your feelings and intentions finally meet without resistance. Emotion is not the enemy of creation, it is its electricity. The energy behind your feelings fuels manifestation. However, that power must be stabilized before it can be directed. Coherence acts as the voltage regulator of consciousness. Without it, energy discharges chaotically, producing short bursts of enthusiasm followed by long periods of exhaustion. The familiar cycle of excitement, disappointment, and doubt is not a failure of belief. It is a lack of energetic stability. To sustain creation, the body must learn to hold higher frequencies without reverting to survival mode. Gratitude, appreciation, and compassion are not sentimental luxuries. They are biochemical codes that expand the body's capacity to sustain higher vibrations without collapse. Consider how a river flows. When it rushes too fast, it erodes its own banks. When it stagnates, it breeds decay. Coherence is the graceful middle flow, steady, vital, and clear. When you find it, manifestation feels less like a chase and more like an unfolding. The universe no longer resists your movement because you are no longer resisting yourself. Your energy stops oscillating between desire and doubt. The new state feels less like excitement and more like quiet certainty. It is a knowing that needs no reassurance. This inner steadiness is the signature the quantum field recognizes as truth. Every emotion you experience carries a vibration, but coherence refines that vibration into a note that the universe can clearly interpret. Think of it as composing a melody. Scattered thoughts are noise, but sustained emotion becomes rhythm, and rhythm creates resonance. The universe responds to resonance because resonance is communication without distortion. Once you achieve this, you no longer ask whether manifestation is working. You can feel it happening. Life begins to mirror your stability through synchronicities, opportunities, and the effortless unfolding of paths you once thought were blocked. Creating coherence does not mean suppressing pain or pretending to be positive. It means allowing every emotion to pass through the system without becoming trapped in resistance. Sadness, fear, and anger are not enemies to be eliminated, but frequencies seeking resolution. When acknowledged with awareness, they transform into clarity. When suppressed, they become static. The heart's electromagnetic field expands most dramatically when a person experiences genuine appreciation, not forced optimism. In this sense, gratitude is not an affirmation. It is a frequency stabilizer. It reorganizes your biology toward harmony, teaching the brain that safety exists now, not later. Coherence is also practical. When the body is synchronized, your decisions gain precision. You stop reacting and start responding. Creativity increases, intuition sharpens, and time feels more fluid. Tasks that once felt draining become natural extensions of your intention. This is because coherence reduces energetic leakage. The energy once spent managing inner conflict becomes available for creation. You begin to live with a sense of energetic economy, using less force to accomplish more alignment. There is another level to this understanding. Coherence is not merely a personal state, it is relational. A coherent individual stabilizes the energy of a room. This is why calm people have such an impact. They are not passive. They are energetically ordered. Their presence becomes a tuning fork for others. When you cultivate coherence within yourself, you contribute to the collective field, subtly influencing the frequencies around you. This is co-creation in its truest form, not control over others, but harmony that invites alignment. At its core, coherence is a return to authenticity. It is the remembrance that your truest frequency is not effortful, it is inherent. You do not have to build coherence, you allow it. The process is less about adding new techniques and more about removing interference. The more transparent your emotional field becomes, the easier it is for energy to flow. When you release the need to constantly fix, prove, or chase, your vibration stabilizes naturally. You become the eye of the storm, calm amid motion. In that stillness, the universe recognizes a clear signal and organizes itself around your certainty. The beauty of coherence is that it doesn't demand perfection. Even brief moments of alignment, those minutes when gratitude wells up unexpectedly, when time slows, when you feel connected to something greater, are enough to shift your trajectory. Each moment of coherence imprints a new pattern in your field, gradually overriding the chaotic frequencies of the past. Over time, these moments link together, forming an unbroken rhythm of presence. And once coherence becomes your default state, manifestation is no longer something you practice. It becomes the natural consequence of who you have become. There is an invisible pattern that repeats itself in the lives of those who seek abundance. They work hard, visualize success, study every principle of manifestation, and yet their outer reality remains confined by scarcity. The truth is rarely about lack of effort. It is almost always about the inability to receive. Prosperity is not granted by the universe through merit. It is attracted through vibrational permission. When the body associates abundance with danger, every opportunity for expansion triggers contraction. The mind may whisper affirmations of wealth, but the nervous system still remembers scarcity as safety. Until that memory is rewritten through the language of energy, prosperity will continue to arrive and vanish, never fully staying long enough to build roots. Receiving begins as a physiological event. The body must first learn that it is safe to have more time, more resources, more love. This learning does not occur through words but through sensations of ease. Every time you allow yourself to rest without guilt, to breathe deeply without rushing, to appreciate something simple without needing to earn it, you train your body to associate sufficiency with calm. That calmness becomes a magnetic signal that communicates abundance to the quantum field. In this way, prosperity is not summoned but remembered. It is the natural state of an organism no longer living in defense. Joe Dispenza often refers to abundance as an energetic state that precedes its material expression. Money, opportunities, and success are the visible ripples of an inner coherence. When gratitude and worthiness become your emotional baseline, the field translates that signal into physical reality. But when fear, doubt, or guilt dominate the emotional current, the field receives a mixed message, part invitation, part rejection. The result is inconsistency, brief moments of flow followed by sudden resistance. Understanding this rhythm allows you to stop blaming circumstance and start tuning the internal instrument. Prosperity requires emotional capacity. Many people desire abundance but have a nervous system calibrated for scarcity. When positive change begins, their subconscious interprets it as unfamiliar and therefore unsafe. The heart races, the mind doubts, and sabotage begins. This is not a moral weakness. It is biological protection. The body confuses expansion with threat because it has been conditioned to equate struggle with security. To truly receive, you must expand your window of tolerance for joy, ease, and success. This expansion happens gradually through experiences of appreciation, presence, and surrender. In those moments, your biology learns that pleasure is not danger and that abundance is not loss of control. Think of abundance as a current of water. If your channel is narrow, the flow creates pressure and chaos. When the channel widens, the same current passes smoothly and abundantly. The expansion of that channel happens through self-acceptance. Each time you release shame about wanting more, you widen your energetic capacity to receive it. Guilt, especially around money, is one of the strongest vibrational blockages to prosperity. It tells the field that abundance equals separation from others, that to have is to take away. True prosperity, however, is circulatory. It flows through you, not merely to you. When you see abundance as shared resonance instead of individual gain, resistance dissolves. You no longer fear wealth because you understand it as energy in motion, amplifying whatever frequency you embody. The process of reconditioning the body to receive is neither mystical nor mechanical. It is devotional. It asks for small acts of presence that reprogram the subconscious associations around worth. When you appreciate something you already have, You teach the brain to interpret abundance as familiarity. When you celebrate someone else's success without envy, you signal that expansion is collective and safe. These micro-moments accumulate, gradually teaching the field that abundance can exist without tension. Prosperity becomes not a goal, but a reflection of an inner truth, that you are already enough. There is a profound relationship between value and visibility. Many people unconsciously hide their gifts because they equate being seen with being judged. The universe cannot deliver prosperity to a signal that hides. Abundance thrives in openness. When your energy communicates authenticity, opportunities recognize you instantly because you are no longer disguising your vibration. This transparency is not arrogance, it is integrity. It means that what the world sees matches what the soul emits. That congruence is magnetic. It invites the right collaborations, the right timing, the right forms of wealth that align with your essence. Prosperity also demands balance between giving and receiving. A person out of alignment often overgives, mistaking self-sacrifice for generosity. This pattern creates energetic debt. The universe perceives depletion, not abundance. Giving from emptiness tells the field that there isn't enough to sustain you. Receiving with grace completes the circuit. Gratitude closes the loop and signals the system that flow has been achieved. This is why gratitude and generosity, when grounded in coherence, amplify each other endlessly. Gratitude stabilizes the inflow. Generosity expands the outflow. Together, they form the breathing rhythm of prosperity itself. The body records every financial and emotional experience as data. Past scarcity imprints survival reflexes that can persist even after conditions change. Healing this history involves acknowledging that old energy and letting it dissolve without judgment. Prosperity consciousness begins not by rejecting poverty, but by blessing what it taught you. Scarcity once kept you alive by teaching resourcefulness. But now, to move beyond survival, you must let abundance teach you trust. The same way the body once memorized fear, it can memorize safety. Every sincere moment of gratitude reprograms those neural circuits, proving that you can exist beyond anxiety and still thrive. Abundance, when fully integrated, is quiet. It does not shout, it hums. It manifests not through dramatic arrivals, but through a steady rhythm of alignment. You start noticing that life feels smoother, that coincidences multiply, that you naturally make choices supporting your expansion. These are not miracles, they are confirmations of resonance. The field is simply matching your new state. When you no longer measure prosperity by possessions but by peace, the paradox reveals itself. You begin to receive more of both. Ultimately, prosperity is not a destination, but a reflection of consciousness harmonizing with creation. The universe does not reward you for working harder. It responds to how fully you have allowed yourself to belong to life. When you stop performing worthiness and start living from it, abundance becomes inevitable. The decision to receive is not a mental command. It is a softening, a readiness to let life move through you. Prosperity, then, is not something you chase. It is what arrives when your energy stops resisting the flow that was always meant for you. At the heart of every great transformation lies the meeting point between mystery and method. For centuries, science and spirituality seem to speak different languages, one seeking proof through measurement, the other through experience. But as the boundaries of physics dissolved into the invisible, a convergence began. What ancient mystics intuited as divine intelligence, modern science now explores as quantum potential. The two are no longer adversaries. They are mirrors describing the same truth in different dialects. This realization is not philosophical, it is deeply practical. It reveals that the universe is not a distant mechanism, but a living field of consciousness responding to the coherence of its observers. Quantum physics, stripped of its equations, tells a profoundly human story. It teaches that observation shapes reality, that particles exist in states of probability until consciousness collapses them into experience. In the same way, our thoughts and emotions organize the energy field that surrounds us. Joe Dispenza often describes the quantum field as a realm of infinite possibilities governed by frequency, not time. Every potential version of your life already exists within that field, vibrating at a specific energetic signature. You do not force it into existence, you tune into it. Manifestation, therefore, is not creation ex nihilo, it is selection. You align your consciousness with the version of reality that matches your frequency, and the universe mirrors that selection into form. Science and spirituality converge most clearly through the principle of coherence. When your brain waves and heart rhythms synchronize, your electromagnetic field becomes ordered and measurable. This coherence extends beyond the body. It interacts with the quantum field like a tuning fork with a larger symphony. Experiments in quantum entanglement suggest that particles separated by vast distances remain instantly connected, a reminder that separation is an illusion. In energetic terms, your consciousness is not contained within your skull. It is a field extending into the very fabric of space. Each thought you generate sends a ripple across that fabric, influencing probabilities. When you focus on gratitude, love, or clarity, you are not merely thinking, you are rearranging matter. The meeting of science and spirit restores dignity to the act of creation. No longer must you choose between faith and evidence. The faith of the mystic and the curiosity of the scientist now serve the same purpose: alignment with truth. Faith becomes the confidence to act before the evidence appears, and science provides the framework explaining why that faith works. The two together form a bridge across which transformation travels smoothly. On one side lies the disciplined focus of knowledge, on the other, the surrender of trust. True mastery arises when both move in harmony, when you think like a scientist but live like a mystic. This understanding redefines what it means to believe. Belief is not wishful thinking, it is a neurological pattern reinforced by emotion. Each time you embody a belief through elevated feeling, you strengthen the neural pathways that sustain that frequency. The field responds not to the sentence, "I believe," but to the energy of conviction pulsing through your biology. In this way, the quantum field is a neutral mirror. It reflects the frequency you consistently emit, not the desires you occasionally imagine. When your belief is incoherent, your results appear inconsistent. But when your belief is embodied, when the heart and brain agree, the field organizes itself accordingly. This bridge between science and spirit also transforms the way we view limitations. Classical physics once defined reality as fixed and linear. Cause must precede effect, and objects exist independently of observation. But in the quantum model, reality is fluid, participatory, and multidimensional. Your state of consciousness determines not only what you perceive, but what can exist for you. Time itself becomes flexible. Past and future fold into a continuum of potential. This is why profound shifts can occur in moments. When coherence reaches critical intensity, the field responds instantly. Healing, transformation, and synchronicity are not miracles. They are natural consequences of energetic congruence. The practical implication is profound. If the quantum field responds to frequency, then emotion is your primary instrument. Elevated emotions like gratitude and compassion expand your field. Lower ones like fear and resentment constrict it. Each emotion carries a measurable electromagnetic signature. By learning to sustain elevated states, you condition your environment as much as your body. The people and situations entering your life begin to match your vibration because reality, at its core, is cooperative, not competitive. The field seeks resonance, not struggle. To live in harmony with this truth is to reclaim authorship of your existence. You cease to view the universe as separate and begin to experience it as an extension of yourself. The border between me and everything else blurs into unity. The sense of isolation dissolves, replaced by participation. In that realization, anxiety loses its grip because control is no longer necessary, only alignment. The field does not require effort to respond, it only requires clarity. In moments of coherence, science and spirit converge into direct experience. You feel yourself both as observer and observed, both wave and particle, both human and divine. The mind quiets because it recognizes that nothing truly stands apart. Every breath, every heartbeat, every thought is an act of communication with the cosmos. The same intelligence that orchestrates galaxies animates your cells. The same quantum field that binds stars responds to the rhythm of your emotions. When this truth moves from concept to embodiment, a subtle peace emerges, the peace of belonging to a living universe that listens. Ultimately, the bridge between science and spirit is built through awareness. Awareness transforms data into wisdom and experience into meaning. It reminds you that you are not here to master the field, but to merge with it. Manifestation, healing, abundance, these are expressions of the same underlying law, resonance. When you align your vibration with the frequency of your chosen reality, the universe simply echoes back your coherence. This is not magic, it is participation. It is the conscious partnership between the finite and the infinite. The scientist measures it, the mystic feels it, the awakened human lives it. Every transformation begins not with an external change, but with an internal remembrance. The truth you have been seeking has never been hidden. It has been waiting for your frequency to match its clarity. Life is not a random sequence of events, but a mirror responding to the rhythm of your energy. When thought and emotion, mind and heart, science and spirit merge into coherence, creation stops being mysterious and becomes inevitable. The universe has always been listening. It simply needed your vibration to speak a language it could understand. The quantum field does not judge, compare, or delay. It responds. Each moment of awareness, each act of gratitude, each decision made from alignment sends a new signal through the infinite network of possibilities. You are not separate from this field. You are a living extension of it, a point of consciousness through which creation experiences itself. To manifest is not to demand, but to remember. It is to re-enter harmony with the intelligence that animates all things. The beauty of this realization is that simplicity was always the secret. When you stop forcing, stop chasing, and begin feeling from coherence, reality rearranges itself without resistance. The struggle ends not because circumstances change first, but because you do. Prosperity, connection, and peace are no longer distant goals. They are the reflection of a frequency you have learned to sustain. The moment you decide and hold that decision with emotional precision, the universe moves, not out of obligation, but out of resonance. The field has no choice but to respond, for it and you are the same. In the end, the greatest truth is also the simplest. What you seek is seeking you, waiting for your coherence, your clarity, your decision. Once those align, everything becomes not only possible, but inevitable. So now ask yourself, what frequency are you living from right now? Are you broadcasting scarcity or coherence, fear or trust, doubt or decision? The universe is listening to the signal you send with every breath, every thought, every heartbeat. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to subscribe to this channel and become part of a community that lives from awareness, intention, and expansion. Your next transformation may already be waiting in the next video. Stay present, stay aligned, and continue watching the content appearing on your screen now. The next step of your journey begins there.